Hello, can you guys hear me? Testing, testing. Hello, hello. Hold on 1 second. Hello, can you guys hear me? Oh, testing, testing. Oh, my air conditioner's on. Hello, hello. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I think that's okay. Oh. Testing, testing. Oh. Does it sound like shit though, guys? Because I listened to the other video and it sounds like crap. It's really echoey. So let. All right, you guys said it sounds fine. We'll go with it. It sounds much better now than yesterday. Okay, cool. Thanks. All right, you guys said it sounds fine. All right, cool. All right. I sorted it out. I don't know what's going on because I had everything sorted in my. Turn this brightness down. It's pretty bright. I had everything sorted on my OBS, and then I don't know where it's just messing up. Just let me know how it sounds. I didn't like how echoey it was from the last stream. I don't know what was going on or what's going on with this, but we'll try to keep it this way. Which sucks because I had the whole schedule of what we were doing today on that other thing. Panel? On the other tab? I don't know. Let me see if it's going to sound terrible. Testing, testing. Alright, whatever. Let's have this echoey for a second if this is echoey. Oh. Here. Testing, testing. Can you hear me on this one? Alright. I suck at this. Testing, testing. Can you hear me on this one? Okay, you can hear me on that one. What we are going through today, since you can't see it because you can't hear me when I'm on that page, but basically it's the early Christianity and Byzantine art, I think it is, but it was spelled Byzantium. Byzantium? Okay, so hence the outfit. I told you I was going to wear my crown and shit. I'm trying for you guys. I'm trying, okay? And since I'm trying, it felt like I was performing again, putting my makeup on, and getting ready for the show, which is you guys. So it felt a little bit like work. You can always help me make it work by going to this link down here, streamlabs.com/Martina Markota TV, and help me reach my goal for the week, which is right here. So yeah, you can always do that. You can also do super chats as well. But to make this thing go up, you go to this link. That would be great. Thanks, guys. So let me make sure everything sounds okay, Jay. Give me a thumbs up every once in a while. Make sure the sound is okay. Thank you. So, let's see. What do we have here? I think you can hear me as well. Just okay when I'm on this page as well. So let's go to it. Shit, what did I do? What did I do? Okay, there we go. Okay, so started a new chapter, early Christianity. So during the fuck. I hate this thing. During the 3rd and 4th centuries, a rapidly growing number of people throughout the vast Roman Empire had rejected the emperor's polytheism, belief of multiple gods, in favor of monotheism, the worship of a single all-powerful god. The most prominent of these religions was Christianity. In fact, the Emperor Diocletian, 284 to 305, became so concerned by the growing popularity of Christianity in the Roman army ranks that he ordered a fresh round of persecutions in 303 to 305, a half century after the last great persecution under Trajan Decius, 249 to 251. The Romans hated the Christians because of their alien beliefs that their God had been incarnate and in the body of a man, and that the death and resurrection of the God-man Christ made possible the salvation and redemption of all. More important, the Christians refused to pay even token homage to the official gods of the Roman state. As Christianity's appeal grew, so too did the Roman state's fear of weakening imperial authority. Persecution ended only when Constantine came to believe that the Christian God was the source of his power rather than a threat to it. In 313, he issued the Edict of Milan, which established Christianity as a legal religion with equal or superior standing to the traditional Roman cults. So yeah, basically they went from the pagan worship from the Greeks and Romans to then Christianity started creeping its way. They called it a cult. Let me just check in on you guys. Yes, thank you, Matias. I know I should schedule my streams. I should be more disciplined. You're absolutely right. I have no excuses. I'll try to make that a thing. Oh, hey, Pablo. Nice to see you in here. Yes, you do see a very interesting piece of poster back here. That's Pablo's piece. Amazing. Super Striker. No, I haven't. I've been dealing with some family stuff lately, and I haven't really been entertaining myself by watching anything, so I'm just doing some shit right now. Not watching anything. But I will. I'll check it out. I saved it. Okay. Alright, let's get back to this, shall we? So, early Christian art. Very little is known about the art of the first Christians. The phrase early Christian art refers to the earliest preserved artworks having Christian subjects, not the art of Christians at the time of Jesus. Okay. Funerary art. Most early Christian art in Rome dates to the 3rd and 4th centuries and is found in the catacombs, vast subterranean networks of passageways and chambers designed as cemeteries for burying the Christian dead. The name derives from the Latin and ad catacumbas, which means in the hollows. The builders tunneled the catacombs out of the tufa bedrock, much as the Etruscans fashioned the underground tomb chambers at Cerveteri. The catacombs are less elaborate than the Etruscan tombs, but much more extensive. The known underground galleries in Rome run from 60 to 90 miles and housed as many as 4 million bodies. Wow, crazy. Crazy. So from this point on, the dates are all CE unless otherwise indicated. Cool. Got it. So this is very interesting what happens here. Yeah, Greg. Love the Met. The Met's one of my favorite. Has a ton of this shit. Yeah, for sure. So I don't know what's going on here because no matter which book I edition or format or whatever, this image not available due to copyright restrictions pop up. So there must have been a copyright change with this picture, which sucks because I wish I knew what it was. That sucks. But anyway, moving on, I guess. We have Peter and Marcellinus? I guess that's what the picture is of, perhaps. We'll have to look it up on Google, I guess. Often, the Christians carved out small rooms called cubicula, as in the Roman houses. Yeah, that's what I thought it sounded like. Remember the Roman houses? They had like a lot of like the open space, and they had like these little cubicula, to serve as mortuary chapels within the catacombs. So like, yeah, little rooms. The painted ceiling of a cubiculum in the catacomb of St. Peter and Marcellinus in Rome features a large circle with the symbol of the Christian faith, the cross, at its center. Let's look this up, actually. So, Peter and... this copyright picture thing. Okay, Peter and Marcellinus. Let's see. Let me share my screen with you guys. Sorry, I wish I had a technical person. Let me share my screen with you. Google. There we go. Alright, I'm trying to find what this is. It's the Peter and Marcellinus, I guess. I feel like... What does it say in here? Okay, often the Christians carved out small rooms called the cubicula, as in the Roman houses, to serve as mortuary chapels within the catacombs. The painted ceiling of a cubicula in the catacomb of St. Peter and Marcellinus in Rome features a large circle with the symbol of the Christian faith, the cross. I wish I knew what they were talking about. If you could see the picture, let me know. The arms of the cross terminate in the 4 lunettes, semicircular frames containing the key episodes from the Old Testament story of Jonah. On the left, the sailors throw him from his ship. He emerges on the right from the whale, really a sea dragon that swallowed him. At the bottom, safe on land, Jonah contemplates the miracle of his salvation and the mercy of God. Okay, so let's look for a picture. That looks like there's some ocean shit happening. This looks like it. Catacombs. That's it. Yeah, the image of Jonah in this catacomb. That's it. That's it. That's what we're talking about here. Yeah, I think that's the room. Where's the big cross, though? Anyway, let's get back to reading, shall we? There we go. There we go. Alright. So, from the beginning, the Old Testament played an important role in Christian life and Christian art, in part because Jesus was a Jew and so many of the first Christians were converted Jews, but also because Christians came to view many of the persons and events of the Old Testament as prefigurations, prophetic forerunners of New Testament persons and events. Christ himself established the pattern for this kind of biblical interpretation when he compared Jonah spending 3 days in the belly of the sea monster to the comparable time he would be entombed in the earth before his resurrection. Matthew 12:40. In the 4th century, St. Augustine, 354-430, confirmed the validity of this approach to the Old Testament when he stated that the New Testament is hidden in the Old Testament. The Old is clarified by the New. A man, a woman, and at least one child occupy the compartments between the Jonah lunettes in Figure 4.2. They are orants, praying figures, raising their arms in the ancient attitude of prayer. Let's look at that real quick again, shall we? Hold up. Yeah, so I don't know if you could see, but like, make this bigger. Well, yeah, there's like up there you can see some prayer hands. I love some good prayer hands. I'm all about those prayer hands. Yeah, that's what's happening right now. Switch it back. There we go. I want to just check in on you guys. Okay. I'm so theatrical today. Yeah, that's because I'm in costume. I told you I was putting on my show face today. Yeah. Talk about prayer hands though. Like, if we're talking about sculpture poses, prayer hands, got that aesthetic. Okay. Can you guys see the book? You can. Okay. You can. Okay. Where are we? So the old is clarified by the new. Okay, we can see figures in the praying gestures, raising their arms in the ancient attitude of prayer. Together they make up a cross-section of the Christian family seeking a heavenly afterlife. The cross's central medallion shows Christ as the Good Shepherd, whose powers of salvation are underscored by his juxtaposition with Jonah's story. In early Christian art, Christ often appears as the youthful and loyal protector of the Christian flock, who said to his disciples, "I am the Good Shepherd. The Good Shepherd gives his life for the sheep." John 10:11. Only after Christianity became the Roman Empire's official religion did Christ take on an art and imperial attributes such as the halo, which I love. Okay, I'm all about that halo. Got my own halos. Hold up. Got my own halo. Can't put it on because I already have a crown on. I guess I can do that. Oh. Sorry about it. Get a little excited about the costumes. I miss it. Okay. Anyway, okay. Let's get to it. What am I talking about? The Good Shepherd, only after Christianity. Only after Christianity became the Roman Empire's official religion did Christ take on in art imperial attributes such as the halo, the purple robe, and the throne. Oh, I love the throne, which denoted ruleship. Cool. Okay, so then we have hopefully I'm saying this right. Is it a hard J, like Junius or Junius? Junius? Julius. Junius Bassus sarcophagus. I'm going with that, okay? All Christians rejected cremation. True. And the wealthiest Christian faithful, like their pagan contemporaries, favored impressive marble sarcophagi. The finest surviving early Christian sarcophagus is that of Junius Bassus, city prefect of Rome and a pagan convert to Christianity who died in 359. His sarcophagus is divided into 2 registers of 5 compartments, each framed by columns. Stories from the Old and New Testament filled the 10 inches. Cool. Looks beautiful. Love it. Christ has pride of place and appearance in the central compartment of each register as a teacher enthroned between his chief disciples or apostles, from the Greek for messenger. The saints, Peter and Paul above, and triumphantly entering Jerusalem on a donkey below. Appropriately, the sculpture placed the scene of Christ's heavenly triumph above that of his earthly triumph. Both compositions owe a great deal to pagan Roman art. In the upper zone, Christ, like an enthroned Roman emperor, sits above a personification of the sky god, holding a billowing mantle over his head. I'm gonna have to take my contacts out. They're hurting my eyes every single time. I'm like not used to wearing my contacts, and then this light hurts them, and I just want my glasses more and more. I'm getting old. Sorry, I just can't see for a second. Give me a second. I just want to be able to not wear glasses for a day. Oh, how fun. We got a gift going on. Fox Mulder, thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna have to get my glasses. We got the laughing nurse here. Laughing evil nurse. It's a long gift. It's still going. Can't see very well. LASIK. Yeah, I wish. Okay, sorry. I wish I had like a co-host or something so they could take over and talk while I'm like looking at things and being random. Okay. I'm gonna try to do this without my glasses. I'm trying, guys. So where are we at? Okay, so I'm just looking at, okay, Jesus is in like the center of each of the registers. So he has his disciples around him in the top one, and he's like in the central figure. And then the one below, he's riding that donkey. And then let's see what else. In the upper zone, Christ is enthroned, just like an emperor. Oh, we got more things going on. Great. JR White Light. Thanks. Don't forget, guys, you can always help me reach my goal down here by going to the link at streamlabs.com/Martina Markota TV. Thanks. Okay, so... Okay, so someone is holding a billowing mantle over Christ's head, personifying, indicating that Christ is ruler of the universe. The scene below derives in part from portrayals of Roman emperors entering cities on horseback, but Christ's steed and the absence of imperial attributes contrast sharply with the imperial models the sculptor used as compositional sources. Okay. The Old Testament scenes chosen for the Junius Bassus sarcophagus were those that had special significance in the early Christian church. Adam and Eve, for example, are in the second niche from the left on the lower level. Oh yeah, I see it with the serpent. Okay. The original sin of eating the apple in the Garden of Eden ultimately necessitated Christ's sacrifice for the salvation of humankind. To the right of the entry into Jerusalem is Daniel, unscathed by flanking lions, saved by his faith. Let me see. Okay, the lions. Cool. At the upper left, Abraham is about to sacrifice Isaac. Oh shit, he is. Damn. Christians believe this Old Testament story was a prefiguration of God's sacrifice of his own son, Jesus. Ah, so you see how it's like taking the Old Testament and making it new again with the New Testament. So like the sacrificing of the son with like Abraham is like the sacrificing of Jesus, the Son of God. That what is it called? Prefiguration. The crucifixion itself, however, does not appear on the Junius Bassus sarcophagus. Indeed, the subject was very rare in early Christian art and unknown prior to the 5th century. Oh, wow. Artists emphasized Christ's divinity and exemplary life as a teacher and miracle worker, not his suffering and death at the hands of the Romans. It's true. This sculpture, however, alluded to the crucifixion in the scenes in the 2 compartments at the upper right, depicting Jesus being led before Pontius Pilate for judgment. Who do we have here?
Hey Martina, you're looking like Empress Theodora is the perfect combo.
I don't really know who Empress Theodora is. Who's that? Is that like a thing? But thank you, Mr. Schnickers. Thank you, thank you. If you don't mind me having a quick little smoke break for a second. I think, did I finish this though? Yeah. Sculpture, however, alluded to the crucifixion on the scenes in the 2 compartments at the upper right, depicting Jesus being led before Pontius Pilate for judgment. Okay. The Romans condemned Jesus to death, but he triumphantly overcame it. See the life of Jesus in art, pages 124 to 125. Junius Bassus hoped for a similar salvation. Okay, cool. So the sarcophagus of Julius Bassus from Rome, Italy, circa 359. It's marble, 3 feet and 10.5 inches by 8 feet. It's in the Museum Storico del Tesoro della Basilica di San Pietro, Rome. The wealthiest Christians, like the city like the city-perfect Junius Bassus favored elaborately decorated sarcophagi. Here, biblical episodes from Adam and Eve to Christ before Pontius Pilate appear in 10 niches in 2 rows. How exciting. I might use a bathroom break. But yeah. Okay, what you guys are saying. Dan says, I always understood that account as Abraham, the best of us, being willing to give up his son and thereby proving humans worthy of the sacrifice of God giving up his own son. Yeah, I've always felt that way too. It was kind of like, Abraham, are you serious? Like, what the hell? I could go for a hand roll. Me too. Oh my god, I went to one of those Chinese bakeries today. So good. So good. Evolution and origins of common Christian doctrine might make for an interesting stream sometime, Martina. That's for sure. Oh, KJ, I was wondering what gifts I wanted to update, and I couldn't think of it and remember. So, I guess Pizzagate can be some new gifts to me. Let me write that down, because I thought about it, and I was like, what were they? I had some new gift ideas. Couldn't remember. Pizzagate is good though. Fuck, man, that's a good video. I don't know if you guys have seen that video, but it's a good video. I should have left it up when I got all that press. I took it down, and then because I freaked out because I was working for the Daily Caller. And the press got a hold of it to slander me. And I recently showed a clip of it about the Larry Bird part. There's a Larry Bird part. It's really funny. The whole basketball thing happens. And I was like, man, this video is so funny. It's really, really funny. I wish I left it up. I would have had 1 million views. Damn it. Alright, anyway. Howdy. Hey, Rainbow. Howdy. Matias says he's seen the video. It's awesome. Larry Bird is a fucking basketball player. Yeah, that's right. Have you covered the Flavian dynasty, the year of 4 emperors? Yes, I think we did go over that last time. That sounds familiar. If you're talking about Roman shit, yeah. We went over that. Anyway. Where are we here? Okay, so then we have religion and mythology, the life of Jesus in art. Love it. Okay. The life of Jesus in art. Christians believe that Jesus of... I have to zoom this in to help my eyes, if you guys don't mind. Okay. There we go. I think that's good. Christians believe that Jesus of Nazareth is the Son of God, the Messiah, the Savior Christ, of the Jews prophesied in the Old Testament. His life, from his miraculous birth from the womb of a virgin mother through his preaching and miracle working to his execution by the Romans and subsequent ascent to heaven, subsequent ascent to heaven has been the subject of countless artworks from Roman times through the present day. Although many of the events of Jesus' life were rarely or never depicted during certain periods, it is useful to summarize here the entire cycle with a description of the events as they usually appear in art. Okay. Incarnation and childhood. The first cycle of the life of Jesus consists of the events of his conception, birth, infancy, and childhood. There's the Annunciation to Mary. The Archangel Gabriel announced to the Virgin Mary that she will miraculously conceive and give birth to God's Son, Jesus. Artists sometimes indicated God's presence at the incarnation by a dove, the symbol of the Holy Spirit, the third person of the Trinity with God, the Father, and Jesus. Then there is the visitation, the pregnancy. Mary visits Elizabeth, her older cousin, who is pregnant with the future St. John the Baptist. Elizabeth is the first who recognized that the baby Mary is bearing the Son of God. How fun. I love that one. Nativity, Annunciation to the shepherds and adoration of the shepherds. Jesus is born at night in Bethlehem and placed in a basket. Mary and her husband Joseph marvel at the newborn, while an angel announces the birth of the Savior to shepherds in the field. Adoration of the Magi. A bright star alerts 3 wise men, Magi. Ooh! Magic! Sorcery! Witchcraft! How heretic. A bright star alerts 3 wise men, Magi, in the east that the King of the Jews has been born. They traveled 12 days to find the Holy Family and present precious gifts to the infant Jesus. Presentation in the temple. Mary and Joseph bring their son to the temple in Jerusalem, where the aged Simeon, who God said would not die until he had seen the Messiah, recognizes Jesus as the prophesied Savior of humankind. Massacre of the innocents and flight into Egypt. King Herod, fearful that a rival king has been born, orders the massacre of all infants in Bethlehem. But an angel warns the Holy Family, and they escape to Egypt. Sorry, my eyes. Just doing my eyes. Dispute in the temple. Joseph and Mary travel to Jerusalem for the feast of Passover, the celebration of the release of the Jews from bondage to the pharaohs of Egypt. Jesus, only 12 years old at the time, engages in learned debate with astonished Jewish scholars in the temple, foretelling his ministry. No table flipping? He's not going to talk about table flipping. I heard that there was a table flipped at this whole situation when he flipped out the temple. And he was pretty pissed about the usury going on. Not just engaging in learned debates, okay? There was some table flipping going on. Table flipping and a whip. Oh, was that later? Okay, that was later on in his older. Yeah, I thought there was pictures of him with a whip, like later on, more adult. Jesus had a heated Jesus had a heated gaming moment, said Jay. That's so funny. That's true. That's true. He went after the money changers. Okay. Okay, cool. We'll get back to it. I guess table flipping happens later. Okay. He was 12. Okay, public ministry. The public ministry cycle comprises the teachings of Jesus and the miracles he performed. Baptism. The beginning of Jesus' public ministry is marked by his baptism at age 30 by John the Baptist in the Jordan River. God's voice proclaimed Jesus as his son. Calling of Matthew. Jesus summons Matthew, a tax collector. Jesus just summoning tax collectors and shit? Alright. Jesus summons Matthew, a tax collector, to follow him, and Matthew becomes one of his 12 disciples. A tax collector. Okay. Miracles. In the course of his teachings and travels, Jesus performs many miracles, revealing his divine nature. In the miracle of loaves and fishes, for example, Jesus transforms a few loaves of bread and a handful of fishes into enough food to feed several thousand people. Other miracles include acts of healing and the raising of the dead, the turning of water into wine, and walking on water. Delivery of the keys to Peter. The fisherman Peter was one of the first Jesus summoned as a disciple. Jesus chooses Peter, whose name means rock. Jesus chooses Peter, whose name means rock, as his successor, the rock on which his church will be built, and symbolically delivers to Peter the keys to the kingdom of heaven. Transfiguration. Jesus scales a high mountain and, in the presence of Peter and 2 other disciples, James and John, the evangelist, is transformed into radiant light. God, speaking from a cloud, discloses that Jesus is his son. Oh, a transfiguration. I like that. Cleansing of the temple. Jesus returns to Jerusalem, where he finds money changers and merchants conducting business in the temple. He rebukes them and drives them out of the sacred precinct. That's my whip sound. It's really bad. Okay? But there he is. Jesus returns to Jerusalem, where he finds money changers and merchants conducting business in the temple. How dare you? This is a place of worship. How dare you? He rebukes them and drives them out of the sacred precinct. Okay, then there's the Passion. The Passion, from Latin passio, or suffering, cycle includes the episodes leading to Jesus' death, resurrection, and ascent to heaven. Entry into Jerusalem on the Sunday before his crucifixion, Palm Sunday. Jesus rides triumphantly into Jerusalem on a donkey, accompanied by disciples. Okay, so the Last Supper and washing of the disciples' feet. Passable whip sound. It was terrible. Okay. Let's go back to this. Okay, the Last Supper and washing of the disciples' feet. In Jerusalem, Jesus celebrates Passover with his disciples. During this Last Supper, Jesus foretells his imminent betrayals, arrests, and death, and invites the disciples to remember him when they eat bread, a symbol of his body, and drink wine, his blood. This ritual, so people talking about rituals and spells as being evil. Hello, Mass is a ritual. It's all rituals. It's a ritual. This ritual became the celebration of Mass, Eucharist, in the Christian church. At the same meal, Jesus sets an example of humility for his apostles by washing their feet. Agony in the garden. Jesus goes to the Mount of Olives in the Garden of Gethsemane, where he struggles to overcome his human fear of death by praying for divine strength. The apostles who accompanied him there fall asleep despite his request that they stay awake with him while he prays. I don't really remember that one. Betrayal and arrest. One of the disciples, Judas Iscariot, is that how you say it? agrees to betray Jesus to the Jewish authorities in return for 30 pieces of silver. Judas identifies Jesus to the soldiers by kissing him, and Jesus is arrested. Later, a remorseful Judas commits suicide by hanging himself from a tree. Oh shit. You smite Jesus, you commit suicide. Damn. Trials of Jesus and Daniel of Peter. Jesus is brought before, how do you say that? Caiaphas, the Jewish high priest, who interrogates Jesus about his claim to be the Messiah. Meanwhile, the disciple Peter thrice denied knowing Jesus, as Jesus predicted he would. Jesus is then brought before the Roman governor of Judea, Pontius Pilate, on the charge of treason because he had proclaimed himself as king of the Jews. Pilate asked the crowd to choose between freeing Jesus or Barabbas, a murderer. The people choose Barabbas, and the judge condemns Jesus to death. The people choose, to death. Pilate washes his hands, symbolically relieving himself of responsibility for the mob's decision. God damn. Flagellation and mocking. The Roman soldiers who hold Jesus captive whip, flagellate him, and mock him by dressing him as a king of the Jews and placing a crown of thorns on his head. Carrying of the cross, raising of the cross, and crucifixion. So again, remember, all this is like what's depicted in art. The different sections. This early time, and this is the passions, the suffering part. And so these are what's depicted in art often. So they got the carrying of the cross, raising of the cross, and crucifixion. The Romans forced Jesus to carry the cross on which he will be crucified from Jerusalem to Mount Calvary. Golgotha, the place of the skull where Adam was buried. He falls 3 times and is stripped of clothing along the way. How degenerate. Soldiers erect the cross and nail his hands and feet to it. The Virgin Mary, John the Evangelist, and Mary Magdalene, whore, mourn at the foot of the cross while soldiers torment Jesus. One of them, the centurion Longinus, stabs his side with a spear. After suffering great pain, Jesus dies. The crucifixion occurred on a Friday, and the Christians celebrate the day each year as Good Friday. And when I make those comments about whores and degenerates, I'm just being sarcastic. It's called sarcasm because people call Lady Alchemy stuff like degenerate or like whore. And so, because it's like any sort of nudity or human form or anything, and so I like to mock it and point out every time there's nudity in art. Okay. All right, you guys are telling me how to sound it out. Okay, thanks, guys. Reggie says there is speculation that they actually nailed his wrist to the cross. Crucifixion was designed to cause maximum suffering. Crucifixion was death by asphyxiation. Oh. I don't like it. Okay, so then we have the deposition, lamentation, and entombment. Entombment. 2 disciples, Joseph and Arimathea, and Nicodemus, remove Jesus' body from the cross, the deposition, and take him to the tomb Jesus had purchased for himself. Oh, Jesus even purchased himself a burial. God damn. I gotta do that, I guess. Shit. He's got tax collectors hanging around him, and he's like paid for like his like burial. He's like got it sorted. Like, I take care of my business. Okay. Shit. Learn something new every day. Okay, so they take him to the tomb. Joseph had purchased for him. To the tomb Joseph had purchased for himself. Oh, so Jesus. Okay, no, Joseph purchased it for himself. Okay, so Jesus's body. They take Jesus' body off the cross and take him to the tomb Joseph had purchased for himself. Okay. I guess his buddy purchased it for himself. Okay. Joseph, Nicodemus, the Virgin Mary, St. John the Evangelist, and Mary Magdalene, the whore, mourn over the dead Jesus, the lamentation. When in art, the isolated figure of the Virgin Mary cradles her dead son in her lap, the image is called a paella, I guess. Not like the food, because isn't paella like food? The pita? I don't know. The pity. Okay. Italian for pity. In representations of the entombment, his followers lower Jesus into a sarcophagus in the tomb. Okay, descent into limbo. During the 3 days he spends in the tomb, Jesus, after death, Christ, descends into hell or limbo and triumphantly frees the souls of the righteous, including Adam, Eve, Moses, David, Solomon, and John the Baptist. Cool. That's cool. Resurrection and the 3 martyrs at the tomb. On the 3rd day, Easter Sunday, Christ rises from the dead and leaves the tomb while the guards outside are sleeping. The Virgin Mary, Mary Magdalene, and Mary, the mother of James, visit the tomb, find it empty, and learn from an angel that Christ has been resurrected. Noli me tangere, supper at Amos, and doubting Thomas. During the 40 days between Christ's resurrection and his ascent to heaven, he appears on several occasions to his followers. Christ warns Mary Magdalene, weeping at his tomb, with the words, "Don't touch me," noli me tangere in Latin. But he tells her to inform the apostles of his return. At Emmaus, he eats supper with 2 of his astonished disciples. Later, Christ invites Thomas, who cannot believe that Jesus has risen, to touch the wound in his side that Longinus inflicted at the crucifixion. That little, the Ascension. On the 40th day, with his mother and apostles as witness, Christ gloriously ascends from the Mount of Olives to heaven in a cloud. In a cloud. I like that detail. He ascends to heaven in a cloud. That's how ascension is, huh? In a cloud. Okay. Cool. Let me see what you guys are talking about. Okay, bye Josh. Thanks for coming by. Have fun on a date. Ooh, Snowball says that Mel Gibson is said to be working on a sequel to Passion of the Christ that details with that time where he goes to limbo to free the souls. Cool. That's really, really cool because that's not really a story that people talk about often. And of course, Mel was like, yeah, I got that. Fuck. Okay. Let me see. Okay, Stephen is who? You missed a little bit. You missed a bit. You're an hour late. It's okay. Just go catch up sometime, I guess. The neighbor guy says the freeing of the righteous damned is synonymous with Titus Flavius, son of God, father defied by Roman Senate, calling the Old Testament characters righteous. Okay, cool. Yeah, I know Darkspawn. He's saying that Mary Magdalene is a venerated saint in Eastern Orthodoxy and is not considered nor identified as a prostitute. That was Roman Catholic created misconception. Yeah, no, that's true. Apparently, the word Mary appeared a few times in the Bible. I guess it's a very common name. A lot of people name Mary. There's Mary Magdalene. There's Mary whatever. And I guess there was one time where they said something about a prostitute one time, and then I guess like they associated that with Mary Magdalene, but that wasn't necessarily true. There were also, I guess, talks about just sorts of misogyny, I guess, going on, where they wanted to like associate, like Jesus was really close to Mary Magdalene, like she was like right there, you know, with his mom and shit. She was like right there with him, with like everything, like closer to him than the other disciples, you know. The other disciples aren't there with Mama, you know. And so I guess it was their way of like defaming her a bit. But what I'm talking about is using that. Yeah, exactly, Darkspawn. The mixture with Mary of Bethany and the unnamed sinful woman. Yeah, correct. But what I am trying to say by calling her whore is that these people that attack me are like these like Catholic LARPers on the internet, on Twitter, and what they will do is just like act really rigid about like my Lady Alchemy shit and just be like, whore, this is whore behavior. And it's like, well, if you're going by your basic bitch Catholicism like way, then by your logic Jesus is hanging out with a whore, because like you're being like basic bitch Catholics. Basic bitch Catholics, Mary Magdalene is the whore by their logic. So not my logic, I don't think she was a whore, but by their logic Jesus is hanging out with a whore. So just saying. Okay, I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom. Bathroom break is happening. Just hold on tight. I don't know why the commercials have not been working lately, so let me see what I can do here. I don't know. Copyright free commercials. Let me try to look some up. Hold up. Just wait with me for a second. Editing files? No. Streams? Files. Oh no! Where are the commercials? No, where commercials are. What do I do? I guess I'll play the intro a little bit, huh? Alright, just check. Hold on with this. Sorry, you're probably really sick of that by now. Okay, let me see. What are you guys talking about? Okay, so just trying to see your comments, see what you guys are talking about. What the hell am I watching? This is amazing. Yeah, that's my trailer for the comic book. It says Adam named the animals and God saw none corresponded to him and Eve was created. Adam needed the woman counterpart and named her after the animals. Love this effing music, by the way. It occurs that in training my dog to fear consequences of her decisions, I forced a higher level of intelligence on her. I don't think Adam and Eve were real human beings, and that has to do with them being in that childlike scenario where they didn't know any better. Cain and Abel are more real than them. Oh, you guys are talking to me now. The Eastern Orthodox Church teaches that she was virtuous her entire life, even before her conversion. Oh, very cool, Darkspawn. You're talking about Mary Magdalene. She was honored as a martyr, I think you're saying, right? And equal to the apostles, yes. She is commemorated on the Sunday of the... Oh, no, I guess that's not... I don't know. How do you say that? Mere barriers? I don't know what that word is. Interesting side note, the old pure Punjabi word for first or beginning is ad. The name Adam essentially meaning first man. Oh, okay. Okay. Yes, Jack, I'm coronated like chicken, okay? Okay, let's get back to this. So yeah, basically the ascension on the 40th day with his mother and apostles as witnesses, Christ gloriously ascends from the Mount of Olives to heaven in a cloud. In a cloud from the Mount of Olives. I'm into that imagery. Okay, so the Christians... oh wait. Let me go up here a little bit. Let's see. So we have architecture and mosaics. The earliest Christian places of worship were usually remodeled private houses that could accommodate only a small community. Once Christianity achieved imperial sponsorship under Constantine, an urgent need suddenly arose to construct churches. Constantine believed the Christian God had guided him to victory, and in lifelong gratitude, he protected and advanced Christianity throughout the empire, as well as the obstinately pagan capital city of Rome. As emperor, he was, of course, obligated to safeguard the ancient Roman religion, traditions, and monuments, and as noted in Chapter 3, he was, for his time, a builder on a grand scale in the heart of the city. But eager to provide buildings to house for the Christian rituals and venerated burial places, especially the memorials of founding saints, Constantine also was the first major patron of Christian architecture. Patrons of art. See, that's what stands in history, man. People underestimate the importance of art, but art and history go hand in hand, okay? He constructed elaborate and funding for the arts go hand in hand. So who's winning that war? Who's winning history right now? He constructed elaborate basilicas, memorials, and mausoleums, not only in Rome, but also in Constantinople, his New Rome in the east, and at sites sacred to Christianity, most notably Bethlehem, the birthplace of Jesus, and Jerusalem, the site of his crucifixion. The new buildings had to meet requirements of Christian liturgy, the ritual of public worship. Provide a suitably monumental setting for the celebration of the Christian faith and accommodate the rapidly growing numbers of worship. Old St. Peter's, the greatest of Constantine's churches in Rome, was Old St. Peter's, probably begun as early as 319. The present-day church is a replacement for the 4th century structure. Old St. Peter's stood on the spot where Constantine and Pope Sylvester believed that Peter, the first apostle and founder of the Christian community in Rome, had been buried. Excavations in the Roman cemetery beneath the church have been in fact revealed a 2nd century memorial erected in honor of the Christian martyr at his reputed grave. The great Constantinian church, capable of housing 3,000 to 4,000 worshippers at one time, therefore fulfilled the words of Christ himself when he said, "Thou art Peter, and upon this rock," in Greek, Petra, "I will build my church," Matthew 16:18. The plan and elevation of Old St. Peter's resemble those of Roman basilicas, such as Trajan's Basilica Ulpia, rather than that design of any Greco-Roman temple. The Christians, understandably, did not want their houses of worship to mimic the forms of pagan shrines, but practical considerations also contributed to their shunning the pagan temple type. The Greco-Roman temple housed only the cult statue of the deity, and all rituals took place outside at open-air altars. The classical temple, therefore, could have been adapted only with great difficulty as a builder that could accommodate large numbers of people within it. The Roman basilica, in contrast, was ideally suited as a place for congregation, and early Christian architects eagerly embraced it. Like Roman basilicas, Old St. Peter's had a wide central nave, 300 feet long, with flanking aisles and an apse at the end. Preceding it was an open colonnaded courtyard, very much like the Forum proper in the Forum of Trajan, but called an atrium, like the central room in a private house. Worshippers entered the basilica through a narthex, or vestibule. When they emerged in the nave, they had an unobstructed view of the altar and the apse. A special feature of the Constantinian church was the transept, or transverse aisle, an area perpendicular to the nave between the nave and apse. It housed the relics of St. Peter that hordes of pilgrims came to see. Relics are the body parts, clothing, or any object associated with the saint or Christ himself. See Pilgrimages and the Cult of Relics, Chapter 6, page 170. The transept became a standard element of church design, and in the West only much later, when it also took on, with the nave and apse, the symbolism of the Christian cross. Unlike Roman temples, Old St. Peter's did not have a sculpture-filled pediment to impress those approaching the churches. Its exterior consisted of austere brick walls. Inside, however, were frescoes and mosaics, marble columns, and grandiose, is that how you say it? Chandeliers and gold and silver vessels on jeweled altar cloths for use in the Mass. Okay, let's look back at this thing. Oh yeah, so this is the plan on top and the restored cutaway view bottom of Old St. Peter's, Rome, Italy, begun around 319. The number one, where's number one? Oh yeah, number one is in the middle, that's the nave. 2 are the aisles. 3 is the apse, the little circular thing all the way to the left. 4, it's like the entryway, the transept. 5, that's the narthex, and 6, the atrium. So erected by Constantine, the first imperial patron of Christianity, this huge church stood over St. Peter's grave. The building's plan and elevation derived from those of Roman basilicas, not pagan temples. Yeah, it's like the basilica. not the temple. I see it, I see it, I see it. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Grandiose. Grandiose, thank you. Thank you, grandiose. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's right, Dan. The in the Sanskrit, Akash is like the breath. It means breath, like spirit. Well, thank you, Optimus. Darkspawn said Constantine was the first Christian apologist, allowed the proliferation of Christianity and Christian culture, but still lived as a pagan for most of his life until his baptism. Yeah, baptism on his deathbed. Cool. Yeah. Go back to this. Yeah, thanks Jay for sharing that link. Also guys, if you want to help me out and help me reach my goal, you can go to this link down here, streamlabs.com/Martina Markota TV, because this is what I'm doing, you know what I mean? This is my job right now. Help me out. Thanks. Okay, let's go back to it. Okay, so grandiose chandeliers and gold and silver vessels on jeweled altar cloths for use in the Mass. A huge marble baldacchino, the canopy over an altar. Ooh, canopy over an altar. I like that. I want a canopy over an altar. Fuck yeah. Supported by 4 spiral columns, mark the spot of St. Peter's tomb. Readers can visualize the interior of Old St. Peter's from the restored view. And from a photograph, this one up here, of the nave of the later Saint Apollinaire Nuovo in Ravenna. In both cases, the nave columns produce a steady rhythm that focuses all attention on the apse, which frames the altar. I like it. In Ravenna, as in Rome, light drenches the nave from the clerestory windows, piercing the thin upper wall beneath the timber roof. That light illuminates mosaics in St. Apollinaire Nuovo's nave. Mosaics and frescoes commonly adorned the nave and apse of early Christian churches. I like that. Yes, yes. I see it. So if you remember that the Roman basilicas and how it's actually, this is built after a mall. So we got Jesus like hanging out with tax collectors and his buddy giving him his grave that he paid for, and like churches are built after Roman malls. That's what it is. That's what it is. Crazy. Then we have Santa... Oh, wait, no. Let's read this. The interior of Saint Apollinaire Nuovo, Ravenna, Italy. Dedicated? Dedicated. Is that really right? 504. Early Christian basilican churches were timber-roofed and illuminated by clerestory windows. The columns of the nave produced a steady rhythm that focused all attention on the apse, which framed the altar. Cool. Then we have the Santa Costanza. Saint Costanza. And they have a saint named after a Seinfeld character. The rectangular basilica church design featuring a longitudinal plan was long the favorite of the Western Christian world, but early Christian architects also adopted another classical architectural type, the central plan building, a structure in which the parts are of equal or almost equal dimensions around the center. Roman central plan buildings were usually round or polygonal domed structures. Byzantine architects developed this form to monumental proportions and amplified its theme in numerous ingenious variations. In the West, builders generally employed the central plan for structures adjacent to the main basilicas, such as mausoleums, baptisteries, sounds like a rotisserie, and private chapels rather than for churches as in the East. A highly refined example of the central plan design is Santa Costanza in Rome, built in the that looks gorgeous. Shit. Built in the mid 4th century, possibly as the mausoleum for Constantina, the Emperor Constantine's daughter. So, hold up. That looks really pretty. I love that. Cool. Interior of Santa Costanza, Rome, Italy, 337 to 351. Santa Costanza has antecedents. What? Antecedents in the domed structures of the Romans, but it is unique in having an ambulatory and 12 pairs of columns. The building once featured rich mosaic ornamentation. Cool. I should really look up what that word is. This is the plan of the Santa Costanza, Rome, Italy, 337 to 351, possibly built as the mausoleum of Constantine's daughter. Santa Costanza later became a church. Its central plan, featuring a domed interior, would become the preferred form for churches in Byzantium. Is that how you say it? Byzantium? In the Byzantine back in times? Shit. Alright, so, yeah. It's possibly as the mausoleum for Constantina, the Emperor Constantine's daughter. Recent excavations have called the traditional identification into question, but the building housed Constantina's monumental porphyry sarcophagus, even if the structure was not built as her tomb. The mausoleum, later converted into a church, stood next to the Basilican Church of St. Agnes, whose tomb was in a nearby catacomb. Santa Costanza has antecedents. Yeah, see, that's what I gotta look up. So, let's look this up.
Antecedent.
A thing or event that existed before or logically precedes another. Okay. Preceding in time or order, previously or pre-existing. So ante, like before, like ant.
Antecedent.
Okay. Cool. Fox Acid said, "I'm learning more here than school." That's funny. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Cool. You guys are talking about stuff, but that's awesome. You're talking about whatever we're talking about here. So anyway, we have the Santa Costanza has antecedents in the dome structures of the Romans, such as the Pantheon, but the designer modified the interior to accommodate an ambulatory, a ring-like barrel vaulted corridor separated from the central domed cylinder by 12 pairs of columns. It is as if the builder bent the nave of the early Christian basilica with its clerestory wall around a circle, the ambulatory corresponding to the basilica aisles. Like early Christian basilicas, Santa Costanza has a severe brick exterior. Its interior also featured an extensive series of mosaics, although most are lost. Aww. Then we have the mausoleum of Galla Placidia? Is it Gala? Do I say that? Am I saying that right? Probably not. Probably not. Okay, where are we at? The mosaic decoration played an important role in the interiors of early Christian buildings. When, under Constantine, Christianity suddenly became a public and official religion in Rome, not only were new buildings acquired to house the faithful, but wholesale decoration programs for the churches also became necessary. To advertise the new faith in all its diverse aspects and to instruct believers, acres of walls and dozens of new churches had to be filled in the style and medium that would carry the message most effectively. Holy shit, this bit right here is like so important for the importance of art in culture and why we need funding for it. So let's look at this again for a second. Hold on a second. Mosaic decoration played an important role in the interiors of early Christian buildings. When under Constantine, Christianity suddenly became a public and official religion in Rome. Not only were new buildings required to house the faithful, but wholesale decoration programs for the churches also became necessary. To advertise, this is what, the left figured out how to do, to advertise the new faith in all its diverse aspects and to instruct believers, acres of walls and dozens of new churches had to be filled in the style and medium that would carry the message most effectively. The left figured that out. Just carry a message most effectively. They got through and making a ton of propaganda. I'm like, what do? Think art is for the left, and we don't even involve ourselves or give a shit. We care about e-celebs. Ugh. People running around saying, I was attacked by the left. I was attacked by Antifa. We'll stop going to fucking Antifa rally. Okay, the so-called mausoleum of Galla Placidia in Ravenna is a rare example of a virtually intact early Christian mosaic program. Galla Placidia was the half-sister of the Emperor Honorius, 395 to 423, who had moved the capital of his crumbling Western Roman Empire from Milan to Ravenna in 404. Galla Placidia's mausoleum, built shortly after 425, almost a quarter century before her death in 450, is really a chapel to the martyred Saint Lawrence. The building has a characteristically unadorned brick exterior. Inside, however, mosaics cover every square inch above the marble-faced walls. Christ, as God's shepherd, is the subject of the lunette above the entrance. Let's look at this. 4-8. I think this is it, right? 4-8, yeah. Okay, this guy. Christ as the Good Shepherd, a mosaic from the entrance wall of the mausoleum of Galla Placidia, Ravenna, Italy, 425. Jesus sits among his flock, haloed and robed in gold and purple. Okay. The landscape and the figures with their cast shadows are the work of a mosaicist still deeply rooted in the naturalistic classical tradition. Mosaicist. Oh, shit. Okay. Christ as a good shepherd is the subject of the lunette above the entrance. No earlier version of the good shepherd is as regal as this one. Instead of carrying a lamb on his shoulders, Jesus sits among his flock, haloed and robed in gold and purple. To his left and right, the mosaicists distributed the sheep evenly in groups of 3. But their arrangement is rather loose and informal, and they occupy a carefully described landscape that extends from foreground to background beneath the blue sky. All the forms have 3-dimensional bulk and cast shadows. In short, the panel is full of Greco-Roman illusionistic devices. It is the work of a mosaicist still deeply rooted in the classical tradition. Okay. Very nice. Okay. Oh, what are you guys talking about? Wow. A viewer said that his friend is an artist. He learned mosaics in Ravenna. Cool. Love Ravenna, center of Byzantine art. Very cool. Anyone hear of the change at the Hagia Sophia in the last couple of weeks? Yeah, of course. Yep. Yeah, it's now a mosque again. It's this converting back and forth type thing over and over again. Yeah. Alright, I guess I'll get back to it a little bit. So what do we have? Museum of Gala Placidia? I think that's what I just went over, right? Yeah, so now we have the Saint Apollinaire Nuovo. In 476, Ravenna fell to Odoacer, the first Germanic king of Italy, whom Theodoric, king of the Ostrogoths, overthrew in turn. Theodoric established his capital at Ravenna in 493. The mosaics in his palace church, Saint Apollinaire Nuovo, date from different periods, but those the Ostrogoth king installed already reveal a new, much more abstract and formal style. The mosaics above the clerestory windows depict scenes from Christ's life. In the panel showing the miracle of the loaves and fishes, oh, how fun! Let's look at the miracle of the loaves and fishes. 4:9. Let's see. 4:9. Okay, miracle of the loaves and fishes mosaic. From the top register of the nave wall above the clerestory windows of the Saint Apollinaire Nuovo, Ravenna, Italy, circa 504. In contrast to figure 4:8, Jesus here faces directly towards the viewer. Blue sky has given way to the otherworldly splendor of heavenly gold, the standard background color for medieval mosaics. Ah, fishes and loaves. Fishes and loaves. Fish and bread. Tax collectors. Okay, so Jesus, beardless in the imperial dress of gold and purple, and now distinguished by the... Yeah, they used to depict Jesus, actually, I was looking at this thing, they used to depict Jesus as like a young, almost like feminine kind of figure at times. Then he started getting depicted as like the beardy Jesus, like later, but they had him as like a young boy a lot of times. Okay, where are we at? Jesus beardless in the imperial gold dress and purple, and now distinguished by the cross inscribed nimbus halo that signifies his divinity. That's what a crown signifies too. Anyway, so inscribed nimbus, halo that signifies his divinity, faces directly towards the viewer. With extended arms, he directs his disciples to distribute to the great crowd the miraculously increased supply of bread and fish he has produced. The artist made no attempt to supply detail of the event. The emphasis is instead on the holy character of it, the spiritual fact that Jesus is performing a miracle by the power of his divinity. The fact of the miracle takes it out of the world of time and of incident. The presence of the almighty power, not anecdotal narrative, is the important aspect of this scene. The mosaicist told the story with the least number of figures necessary to make its meaning explicit. The artist aligned the figures laterally. Oh shit! Laterally, move them. Oh, I'm getting hot now. I gotta open my door. Oh god damn, it's getting hot. Okay, so move them close to the foreground. The arms. Place them in a shallow picture box cut off by a golden screen close behind their backs. The landscape setting, which the artist who worked for Gala Placidia so explicitly described, is here merely a few rocks and brushes that enclose the figure group like parentheses. The blue sky of the physical world has given way to the otherworldly splendor of heavenly gold, the standard background color for mosaics from this time forward. Remnants of Roman illusionism appear only in the handling of the individual figures, which still cast shadows and retain some of their former volume, but the shadows of the drapery folds already are only narrow bars. Okay, let's look at it again. Look at mosaics in depth a little, shall we? As an art form, mosaics had a rather simple and utilitarian beginning, seemingly invented primarily to provide an inexpensive and durable flooring. Oh my god. A bug just flew in here from opening the fucking door. No! Get out of my room! I fucking hate bugs. Okay, can you hear the air conditioner in the fucking living room? Oh my god. Oh my god, this bug is gonna ruin my stream right now. Fuck. Alright, how are you guys doing? Okay, so guys, gotta chill a little bit. And, you know, if you can help me out and go to... You want to help me reach my goal? You can go to the link down here at streamlabs.com/Martina Markota TV. And yeah, you can always help me out that way. Oh, I have more to drink. I forgot. Oh shit. I have more to drink. It's getting real thirsty too. Whew. Just need a second. Hopefully that fucker flew back out of here. Okay. Alright, let's get back into it. Okay, so as an art form, mosaics had a rather simple and utilitarian beginning, seemingly invented primarily to provide an inexpensive and durable flooring. Originally, mosaicists set small beach pebbles, unaltered from their natural form and color, into a thick coat of cement. They soon discovered, however, that the stones could be arranged in decorative patterns. At first, these pebble mosaics were uncomplicated and confined to geometric shapes. Generally, the artists used only black and white stones. The earliest examples of this type date to the 8th century BCE. Eventually, mosaicists arranged the stones to form more complex pictorial designs, and by the 4th century BCE, artists were able to depict elaborate figural scenes using a broad range of colors, yellow, brown, and red, in addition to black, white, and gray, and to shade the figures, clothing, and setting to suggest volume. Very cool. By the middle of the 3rd century BCE, the Greeks had invented a new kind of mosaic employing tesserae, Latin cubes or dice. These tiny cut stones gave the artist far greater flexibility because their size and shape could be adjusted at will. Much more gradual gradations of color also became possible, and mosaicists finally could aspire to rival the achievements of panel painters in early Christian mosaics. Cool. The mosaicists are like, hold up, panel painters, we got this. In early Christian mosaics, the tesserae are usually made of glass, which reflect light and makes the surfaces sparkle. Ancient mosaicists occasionally used glass tesserae, but the Romans preferred opaque marble pieces. Mosaics quickly became the standard means of decorating walls and vaults in early Christian buildings, although some churches also contained mural paintings. The mosaics caught the light flooding in the windows in a vibrant reflection, producing sharp contrast and concentrations of color that could focus attention on composition's central, most relevant features. Love using the concept of lighting. Hell yes, use that lighting. Mosaics made in the early Christian manner were not intended for the subtle tonal changes a naturalistic painter's approach would require. The artist placed, not blended, color. Bright, hard, glittering texture set within a rigorously simplified pattern became the rule. For mosaics situated high in an apse or ambulatory vault or over the nave colonnade, far above the observer's head, the painstaking use of tiny tesserae seen in Roman floor mosaics became meaningless. Early Christian mosaics, designed to be seen from a distance, employed larger tesserae. The mosaicists also set the pieces unevenly so that their surfaces could catch and reflect the light. Really cool. Miracle of the lobes right there. Oh, great. I had to close the door. Someone came home. Thank you. Not only is it the light making my face look so white, but I'm wearing clown makeup. It's true. Mayron powder. Clown. Okay, fun fact, the Byzantine Empire never used feudalism. The Islamic conquest of Egypt led to the creation of the theme system for the purpose of retaining Byzantine control of Anatolia. Great. Open the door just enough to get this goddamn fly in here, and now I have to close the door and it's stuck in here. Great. Great. Okay, let's continue, shall we? What do we got going on here? So now we have the manuscript illumination. The illuminated manuscripts? Maybe? That's what I know them as. Illuminated manuscripts. Hold on a second. Alright, guys. Alright, you gotta help me out. And go to streamlabs.com/Martina Markota TV. That'd be great, guys. Please. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so we have the long tradition of placing pictures in manuscripts began in Egypt. Ancient books, however, are very rare. Well, I went to a rare books and manuscripts fair, so I'm cool. Ooh. An important invention of the early empire period, the codex, greatly aided the dissemination of manuscripts as well as their preservation. The codex is much like a modern book, composed of separate leaves, folios, enclosed within a cover and bound together at one side. A book. Okay. The new format superseded the long manuscript scroll, rotulus, I don't know, the scroll used by the Egyptians, Greeks, Etruscans, and Romans. Christ holds a scroll in his left hand in figure 4:3, much more durable vellum, calfskin, and parchment lambskin, which provided better surface for painting. Also replaced the comparatively brittle papyrus, an Egyptian plant used for ancient scrolls. As a result, luxuriousness of ornamentation became increasingly typical. Art historians referred to the painted books produced before the invention of the printing press as illuminated manuscripts, from the Latin illuminare, meaning to adorn, ornament, or brighten, and manuscriptus, handwritten. Okay, cool. And we have the Vienna Genesis. The oldest well-preserved painted manuscripts containing biblical scenes is the early 6th century Vienna Genesis, so called because of its present location. The book is sumptuous. The pages are fine calfskin dyed with rich purple, the same dye used to give imperial cloth its distinctive color, and the Greek text is written in silver ink. One lavish page, 410, depicts the story of Rebecca and Eliezer? Genesis 24:15 to 61, when Isaac, Abraham's son, Abraham's son, was 40 years old. His parents sent their servant Eliezer to find a wife for him. Eliezer chose Rebecca because when he stopped at a well, she was the first woman to draw water for him and his camels. The Vienna Genesis illustration presents 2 episodes of the story within a single frame. In the first episode, at the left, Rebecca leaves the city of Nahor to fetch water from the well. In the second episode, she gives water to Eliezer and his 10 camels, while one of them already laps water from the well. Okay, so she gave him and his 10 camels water, while one of them already laps water from the well. The artist painted Nahor as a walled city seen from above, a familiar convention in Roman art. Rebecca walks to the well along the colonnaded avenue of a Roman city. A semi-nude female personification, degenerate, semi-nude female personification of a spring is the source of the well water. These are further reminders of the persistence of classical motifs and stylistic modes in early Christian art, even as other artists. Okay, so these are further reminders of the persistence of classical motifs and stylistic modes in early Christian art, even as other artists rejected classical norms in favor of a style better suited for a focus on the spiritual instead of the natural world. Okay, so this is this illuminated manuscript with that wall, that Nahor wall that she's from, and like she's leaving her city and she's feeding these camels some water, just being all nice and shit. Yeah. Yeah, okay, that's that. We made it. We made it to the end. I'm sweating hot. And it's just about 2 hours, so wow. We did it, guys. Sacred Feminine. And she has a huge ass. Yeah, that's right. His wife was a bitch, though. Oh yeah, purple was a very expensive color up until modern times. The pigment was harvested from snails off the coast of Syria. Yeah, that's also why it was purple is like a royal color, wasn't it? The royals would wear purple. Okay, she has that huge fat ass. That's right, Pablo. In with that. Okay, Darkspawn says, I love medieval illuminated manuscripts and think we need to bring them back through prose novels and Bibles. Sounds cool. Yeah. Rebecca is one of the weirdest figures in the Bible. That's hilarious. Huh. Oh, I gotta put my feet up. My feet are gonna start swelling. It's mold. Alright, you guys are asking why Rebecca's weird. Unless you're asking why I'm weird. But I think you're asking about Rebecca. Alright, I'm here for any last questions or comments or super chats. Yeah. Rebecca's relationship with Jacob is very weird, says Eduardo. Yes, am I the only one who thinks that? Alright. I don't want to be boring people just by sitting here silently. Should at least put it on a cool picture. If I'm just going to be sitting here smoking, I'll just leave this mosaic out maybe. Alright. Didn't Jacob punch an angel? Oh, that's interesting. Oops. Jacob didn't fight an angel. Okay. I know Jonah fought like a whale or some shit. Yeah, his name is also associated with the serpent, cunning or something. Jonah got eaten by a whale. Thanks, Jay. Thanks for that. Alright, guys. Anything else today for me? Alright, I'm just sitting here in silence, so unless anyone has anything for me, I'm out of here. Thanks, guys. Let's do tomorrow some etiquette. We'll get into some etiquette. Any more alchemy streams planned? Yeah, I should get into that, sure. Martina, can you find the golden mean of these artworks? Haha. Yeah, I guess it's a matter of measuring. Ever heard of underground streams? No? I mean, this is it. This is pretty underground, I guess. Did my air conditioner kill anyone yet? No. I got some help today. I pulled it out, and it's literally above. Thank you, Douglas Nelson. Thank you so much for the $5. So thanks for another magical history tour. That's right. Etiquette streams make me feel unfit. Sorry, Eduardo. I think they're kind of funny. No, my air conditioner, I got someone to help me pull it out. I installed a bracket, and I also screwed that bitch into the window itself. So I think it's pretty sturdy right now, and I'm really happy about it because right underneath it is a lot of stuff. Like, it's where, like, the guy works going in and out of the cellar bit. The door's open, drops even farther down, like, and I'm, like, really high up already. And then there's also, like, chairs there during the day and, like, people eating, like, literally right below it. So I was really freaked out that I was going to kill someone. Not killing anyone with my air conditioner this summer. Not happening. So, okay, Pablo's waiting for the next Nintendo stream. Okay, we should do that. I'm going to need your help, though, Pablo. So we got to make sure that you and Jay are in, and Rainbow or someone. Because I don't do the games, but people do enjoy it. And that is my aesthetic. I mean, I'm a kid of the 90s. I was born in the 80s. So, yeah, that's definitely my aesthetic. Mid-century modern architecture would be a nice topic to review in the future. Yeah, I did some about, like, Art Deco and Dadaism and stuff like that. That was really fun streams. You guys should check those out, but I'm pretty sure we'll get to it in time. We're going in order. We started with the caveman art, and we're now in the Byzantine era. So let's embrace that for what it is, because sometimes it's a really interesting topic that we want to get to. We're at that now. And let's we'll definitely get into more of the modern stuff. Aesthetic, Martina Markota. Thanks, Carl. Everything about me is aesthetic, okay? Except these motherfucking bugs. Well, bugs can be aesthetic too, actually, not gonna lie. Pretty cool. I want to get, like, these, like, bug jewelry. I love, like, bug jewelry. I have some, like, beetle looking things that are jewelry. They look really cool. Yeah, the Chrysler building, baby. That's right. Aesthetic. Scarab. Yeah, that's right, Stephen Asu. The Egyptian scarab. Have I ever made a stream on Vaporwave? Carl Rowe asked, what about that bug on the ice cream statue that sucks? Yeah, I should bring that up actually, but no, fuck that bug, because that bug was a fly. I don't like flies. Flies are not cool. They're never gonna be cool. I don't like flies. Don't like it. The drone bug is cool. Like, drones look like bugs to me, and it had that effect on that sculpture, on that ice cream. But yeah. The Louisiana State Capitol building was built in the 1930s in Art Deco style. It's beautiful. Cool. Cool. Awesome. Alright, I'll get out of here in a minute, guys. Yeah, Beelzebub is Lord of the Flies. F those things. Flies are disgusting. I hate flies. Nasty, nasty creatures. Alright, thank you guys. Stop by tomorrow, and I'll try to do something regularly. Figure out what time is best. I don't know. Maybe drop a little message and let me know what time is best. What you guys think. But yeah. Alright. See you tomorrow, guys.